In today's video, we are talking about the EURUSD and also the DXY. So you guys know how to approach this market as we're seeing a slight bounce here so far from the euro. Now, first of all, guys, I am on vacation this week, so only a couple of videos this week. And I'm also on a different microphone, different computer, everything. So hopefully this is coming through for you guys okay. But I did want to give you an update here on the EURUSD because, again, we are seeing a slight bounce here so far from these lows. And so the question is, is the low in or does the euro have lower to go? And of course, nobody knows the answer to that. Nobody knows where any market is going. All we can do is play the probabilities. And what I've said recently here about this market still holds true, at least for me. And that is that if you look here at the weekly time frame, we have this low from way back here in 2017. And you can see a low right here before the euro fell below these lows. This served as a pivot on the way down. And you can see where once we got the reclaim through here, we got a retest of 104.50, but never 103.50. This right here, combined with this recent trendline break, tells me that we are probably going to see the euro trade into this 104.50 to 103.50 area through the end of 2024. So knowing that, right, and also knowing that the DXY has been incredibly strong ever since the start of October, I like the idea of looking for shorts on strength. Now, what that means is that you don't want to short through areas like this, right? When the market's going sideways or the lows, you want to look for shorts on strength into resistance like this area back here, these lows back here and these lows. Okay, so if we see the EURUSD move into areas like this up here, I like the idea of potentially looking for shorts there for a move down here toward levels like 104.50 and potentially 103.50. Of course, that is just my opinion. It is never financial advice. Now, if we look here at the 4-hour time frame, you can see where we have the potential for a bear flag forming. Okay, so this up here was that trend line that the market lost back here that we talked about. So still looking bearish while below this. And now we have the potential for a bear flag forming. Now, obviously, there are a few ways you can draw this pattern, so you do have to be a little bit careful with diagonals like this, especially on the intraday timeframes. But I do think, though, that if we were to see, like I said, the EURUSD test this area up here, that could potentially be a short. And alternatively, if we see it breaking below trend lines like this down here, getting below this area convincingly, then that could open up areas like 104.50 and potentially 103.50. All right, so let's take a look at the DXY, which is coming off of those recent highs that we talked about. So no surprise that we are seeing a pullback from the US dollar following the retest up here of these highs. So if you guys have seen the videos over the past few months, then what we've talked about here is the reclaim back here at 102.60, which in my opinion, I still think is a very significant development for the DXY. And I've said that ever since the reclaim back here. Okay, so following this reclaim, my target was the 104.50 area, which we got. And I was looking for a shallow pullback into the US election, which we also got. And now we've had the breakout above this trend line up here. Okay, so we're seeing, some weakness here off of the highs. But again, that's to be expected, especially considering how aggressive this market has been on this recent run up. Okay, so the question right now for the DXY is, do we see the market hold above these highs from right back here? So we've got these highs serving as support right now, or do we get something more substantial and a full retest of this trend line down here in this area, right around 105 to 105.50? Okay, now keep in mind that we do have some imbalances down here. So if we were to get the DXY pulling back into this area, we do have some imbalances down here that could become targets and potentially serve as support going forward. Okay, so keep that in mind, that I'm not ruling out a deeper pullback here from the DXY. And again, especially following this kind of a run up. I mean, eventually this market is going to pull back. It has to reset itself. So that would be healthy for the US dollar. But really, I am not interested in turning bearish on the US dollar until we see the market testing 109 to 110. Now, again, I don't know where this market's going to go. Nobody does. But looking at the imbalance here on the weekly, you can see that we have the reclaim back here at 102.60. All right, so this back here was a significant development for the US dollar, as is the break above this trend line here on the weekly. Okay, so this is now going to be key support for the dollar. And you can see where we have the top of this channel, right? That, remember, it reclaimed back here 102.60, coming in up here in the 109 to 110 area later this year, which is also the imbalance back here from this weekly candle. Okay, so all of this, could point to a higher US dollar through the end of 2024. But of course, it depends on what we get here at support over the coming days. All right. So right now, still pulling back. This area around 106.15 or so is going to be support, this high from back here. If we were to see the DXY get below that, then we're probably looking at a full retest of this trend line down here in the 105 to 105.50 area. All right, so that translates to the Euro USD again, up here at resistance between these two levels around 106.15 and 106.70 or so. This area up here is going to be resistance for the euro. If we were to get a move up here, I like the idea of looking for shorts. And like I said, alternatively, if we get the market breaking below this bear flag, so this level down here, getting well below here, again, it has to be convincing, below this area down here, then we are potentially looking at a run down here toward the lows and maybe those 104.50 and 103.50 areas. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications. Don't forget to sign up for VIP, claim your 90% off lifetime access. See the link in the description of this video, or if you're on the website, click on that join VIP link. I will talk to you again in the next couple of days. Trade well out there, and I will talk to you again soon.